What's up, guys? So I figured I'd make a quick video about the Pokemon series, because I just finished playing Scarlet. It's really good, but I gotta keep my composure, because it's funny how, look, I grew up on the Game Boy Color games, right? And you guys know, red, blue, yellow with Pikachu on the Game Boy Color. And obviously the series has gone through a whole what do you call it, change, and obviously you can see it. But at the same time, the camera's over here, but it's funny how people that get too serious about Pokemon games, they won't buy it. Like, oh, I won't buy it because, the winners are flat. And I'm just sorry. Look, I'm just, it's just they take it way too damn serious, because there's no reason for you to be taking Pokemon games that serious. Look, don't get me wrong, they're great games to sit down, play, and just have a good time. I take my Switch too. I lay in my bed and just, like around 8 o'clock at night, you work for a living, you're busy. I put the time in, and it's a great time. But when people like to use labels as casual gamers or anything, that is like, oh yeah, you're not a hardcore gamer or anything, because I know once I post this video up, there's gonna be all kinds of criticisms of what I said. And I don't care, because at the end of the day, it all comes out to one thing. It's a corporation. They don't give a hoot. I don't want to do any cursing, in case there's other individuals that watch this and think about, if they're thinking about buying it or whatever it is. But they don't care about your opinion. They really don't. And if you go on Twitter, if you watch YouTube, you see a lot of the YouTube, like the influencers, and a lot of the channels that a lot of the content is just to promote the games, put the reviews out, what do they think about it. That's fine. That's great. Gotta make money somehow, right? If you do this for a living, that's different. I don't. I'm thinking about it, depending on how this video goes. And this video is for everybody, honestly. And because the general audience who grew up in the 90s, like myself, they've played the original handheld, with the AA batteries, everything, right? But you've seen, like, I to this day, I did not think this game was gonna be this big, period. And then do so many changes that it did, especially with Arceus, because I bought Arceus, but I never finished it, just because, once you play it so much and you get tired of it, it becomes repetitive, But the whole point of the series is to catch Pokemon, right? But everybody has their preference. Your taste in games changes over time, right? And as of late, ZA just came out, just to prove I do have a copy, and I've been playing it on and off, because I've been playing Cyberpunk on the console as well, and I've been playing I don't know how to pronounce it, but Demon Machina Titanic Scion. That's a mouthful. And it's actually pretty good. And Switch Up on their local channel just posted a video, which they're pretty good at it. They're always pumping out content and about patches, and they're pretty informed, and they actually make good videos on a lot of the games coming out, and they always update stuff about, also, you gotta, like, for example, if you go right now and on their channel and look up Star Wars Outlaws, which I also have, it's a good game. That's another topic for another video. But I digress. But to get back to the whole Pokemon situation, you've seen the numbers. They're Gamefreak is banking on the series, and they will for years to come. And then there was like a post on Twitter that, you know, of all the, like, their upcoming plans. That's great. But when people take this over the edge, thinking, "Oh no, I'm not gonna play the game because it's within a city." You know, I want to be like Scarlet. You want to have an open world and everything. I had to break it to you. They do not care whether you want it to be a certain way. You know, I'm 33. I'm gonna put it out there, and I still play Pokemon games. People in their 30s, 40s, I don't care who you are. The game's out for everybody to enjoy. They're, you know, if you had a hard day's work, is to put your mind at ease, is to help you relax, to help you cope. You know, if you're, you know, just want to distract yourself from the real world. That's the whole point of video game, is a virtual reality, you know, to immerse yourself in, you know, because that's another topic I'm making another video on. But you got to get with the program. And I'm sorry to a lot of the gamers out there, and I know they're going to get technical. They're going to start throwing all kinds of, you know, rage bait comments, whatever it may be. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you disagree, put it in the comments. We're just having a general conversation about a topic, about a game that's been out for a minute. I don't even know when it came out, but it came out, I think it was last month, whatever. But I've been playing ZA, and I like the smaller scale, kind of linear direction they're going, because I get when people get used to having a game being a certain way for a certain amount of time. Because I played, I'll show you right now, that way I'm not bullshitting you. Cursed, but I've got Scarlet. I finished Sword as well. I still gotta play the DLC, so I got a backlog of games. I'm still playing this one. No spoilers. Nobody tell me how it ends. I did finish Brilliant Diamond, which was pretty fun. I like the mega, like the mega evolutions, and that one when you're in the stadium and they just get massive. And then you got, let's go Pikachu, right? But unfortunately, this is going to be in a vicious cycle for a lot of Pokemon fans, because if you do card collecting, if you're like hardcore into the series, if you watch the TV shows and this and that, and it really is a double-edged sword. I can go on and on about this because, like I said, if you're a 90s kid, you know what, you know, the changes the series has gone through from the very beginning. And sometimes change is good, sometimes change is not good. When I first saw Arceus, I thought it was like pretty cool. Like, holy moly, that's like this massive world on the open. And that's a good concept. But I'm not gonna go on the internet and be like bashing every game that comes out and telling people that I'm not gonna buy this because I don't like the new gameplay and the new mechanics and the graphics are doo-doo. You know, it is what it is, honestly. And the Pokemon company, you know, the developers of this game, they don't care about your opinions. They really don't. And as much people want to hate on the series, they're just gonna move on, make something new, and call it a day. Because I see YouTube videos coming up on my feed, and you can see the thumbnails people doing it. It's like, is it a slop? Is it the greatest game of all time? Like, one side says it's terrible, one side says it's fun. So at the end of the day, it's just not gonna stop because there's people that's not gonna like it, and there's people that are gonna love it. I personally like it, just because it's just to pick up and play a game. You know, that there's nothing beyond that. You know, it's not real. It's not something, you know, that games like this you should take to heart. And I'll be comparing apples to oranges, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of things I'm gonna say in this video that people aren't gonna like. But don't put this game at a massive scale like Elden Ring. like a Dark Souls series. You're expanding this massive world and changes and colorful, and you're fighting giant bosses, and and it's not like that, unfortunately. Because, for example, if you ever played Splinter Cell, the first, second, and third game, the maps weren't even huge. Probably a terrible example, because just follow along. It was a very linear experience. You finish one level, you move on, you follow the story, boom, you get the upgrades on the way. It was none of this DLC nonsense. You just get what you get. That's how the game was. I mean, overall, the series had a great story, and I like Pandora the more. That was a really good game. But if they were to do it to this day, I don't even know if Ubisoft is still gonna do a remake, and God forbid if they do. And that's what I said. This is a double-edged sword, because I'm a fan of the Splinter Cell series, but I'm not gonna take it to heart. Like, if they do changes, it's like, oh my god, I wake up tomorrow morning, I wake up frustrated because the Splinter Cell open world. Oh well. There's nothing you can do. But I mean, there's initiatives like I get what people sometimes, and I agree with this to this day. Don't get me wrong. If you feel sentimental about games, I do too. Especially with a lot of it going digital. I obviously saw the copies that I have. I like having physical copies, which that's a more realistic standpoint on an issue, especially because if you work daily, if you work a 9-to-5 job, and you spend your hard-earned money on buying a game, you expect to receive that product in full. And the reason I say that, if people don't pay attention on these boxes, especially these, on the bottom, it tells you it includes Nintendo Switch game and Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade, which typically the upgrades for a lot of Nintendo Switch games are like $9.99, $10, depending on what it is, or free, depending how it's issued. A lot of the prices have been like $69, $70 bucks, which that's another topic. I'm telling you, it just keeps wrapping up the more I think about it. But you're out of your own conscience, out of your own at that moment when you buy a game, consider why you're buying it. If you're gonna play it on the go, that's fine. There's a lot of people that play games on the go. Perfectly okay. Excuse me, I just ate, so I'm burping a lot. But the whole controversy with the game key cards, I'll do that for another video. That's become a hot topic, and I get it. But just like anything, especially in the game industry, you can't take it too hard to the point where you start bashing out on developers and on public forums, because it is dangerous. Like Randy Pitchford, like I've played Borderlands, and I've been following his account lately. People say some mean stuff. They do. And unfortunately, there's people that take these games to heart. They have a passion for them, and I get it. For most of us that are kind of outside that box, I'm not gonna take another human being and go on social media and make any threats. So it's the gaming industry as a whole has changed a lot. Seriously, it has. And I typically don't like getting into those topics, because in terms of like, you go on social media and you say something that you can't take back because you're gonna leave a digital footprint. Because I watched a video on Instagram last night about that whole digital footprint situation, and this is my first YouTube video ever. If it gets a trend, that's great. That's give me an idea of where to take content in the future. Especially just simple videos like this. because there's one YouTube creator that I follow. His name is Voice Critical. Long hair guy, looks like Jesus. He's a cool guy. I like his videos. His videos are like straight to the point. There's no filters like for him. His videos is like, you know, me and him if we were to talk or something, let's just go back and forth and just talk BS. So I think me and him, I think he's 31. I think he's 2 years younger than me. But man, he's been on YouTube forever. So that's the reason I want to make these kind of videos, because I like the way he approaches his videos, and it's just straightforward. And it's just kind of like open to the public. You know, if you're talking to somebody one-on-one, you know, you play the videos in the background, etc. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But to finish this video, because I'm already at 16 minutes. Yeah, I mean, hate to break it to you. That's how it's gonna be. I mean, in the near future. I mean, if they keep making games, and if let's say, okay, let's do ZA. They came up with this one. People disagree the way it came out, the gameplay, the environments, blah blah. It's with constrained inside a city. You know, you don't get to do anything. You just run around, collect Pokemon in different, you know, parks. You know, those closed up, the wild zones. You know, people don't like it. It's like, oh yeah, I want to climb up the mountains, and I want to do this and that. You got Scarlet, you got Violet, you got, I think Diamond is the same way, but it's a little bit different, and it is what it is, honestly, and it's not gonna change. So, but I get it when people make content like, oh, is it great or is it not? It's just for, you know, just to get people's attention and just create a trend. That's perfectly fine. Do what you gotta do. You know, make money, go ahead. But if you like these videos like this where I kind of just talk about it and just, you know, just like we're just people just sitting down talking about games, and if you have anything else, I mean, mostly it's probably gonna be just games, but in the future, depending on where this goes, it will be, you know, just something to sit down and talk about, because there is a lot of content out there I can talk about, but I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But I've grown up with the history of games. You know, I like animes, as you can see. I like One Punch Man. I did watch the season 3 just recently. I'm picky when it comes to the animes as well. So then you got Boba Fett, and then like Cars. If you know where that poster's from, you can comment in the video. You probably don't know where it is, but let me know if you know where that's from, or who's the YouTuber that puts those out. But alright, I'll leave it here. If the video gets traction, then great. I appreciate you watching the video, but this is not a video to make. My intention is not to make anybody upset, but just to face the fact that Pokemon and Nintendo is just a major corporate. You know, it's just a company that puts out games, especially Pokemon. Anything that's a Pokemon brand is still gonna make money at the end of the day. But it's good to everybody have their own opinions. That's fine. So, but alright, I'm gonna leave it here. Like and subscribe to the video. I appreciate it. I got nothing else to say. I just wanted to make this video because it was actually on my mind. But depending on where it goes from here, I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.